What order should we teach the alphabet?
A to Z or something else?
Hi, my name's Tom.
And I'm Tara.
And you're watching A Million Teachers.
Now, ABC is the order of the song, but perhaps it's not the best order when you're teaching phonics, especially when you're teaching phonics to English language learners.
It's easier for students to learn to read if they learn the most common, easy sounds first before moving on to the less common, more difficult sounds. Here are some guidelines that you might want to consider.
First, teach the common letters before the less common letters. For example, Z, V, and W are not very common, so we don't want to teach these letters first.
Another thing you might want to consider is to teach the more simple sounds before the more complex and complicated sounds. For example, the sound for the letter Q, qu, it's actually two sounds combined into one. It's the K sound and the W sound, qu. So it could be tricky for students to master that right away.
Another good tip is to teach the stretchy sounds first. Stretchy sounds are sounds that you can make longer, like or s. You can't really do that with sounds like b and p. They're too short and that makes them difficult to blend. So starting with stretchy ones will be easier for young learners.
Okay, another important tip is to teach vowels early. Every single three-letter word that you're going to be teaching your students to segment and blend is going to contain at least one vowel. So the sooner they know the sounds for the vowels, the sooner they'll be able to read more words.
Another important tip is to separate visually similar letters. For example, B, P, and D, they all look the same, and that can be really confusing to young learners. So put some time and space in between those letters and make sure that they really master the difference. It's also a good idea to separate phonemically similar letters. Those are letters that sound the same. So for example, I and E, I, eh. The sound is very similar, so it's better to separate those. Also F and V sound pretty similar, so we separate letters like that.
So alphabetical order might not be the best way to teach young learners. However, even if you teach in the way like we've just discussed, it can go wrong if you try to cover too much ground too fast.
Exactly. You don't want to teach all 26 sounds at once. In fact, we recommend teaching only 4 at once and dividing them into sets. If you teach in sets of 4, you'll have about 6 sets, give or take, to teach at a time. 4 letters is a lot easier than 26 letters, and that will really help your children master the sounds.
Speaking from our own experiences and from some of the mistakes we've made when teaching phonics, it's way better when you teach 4 sounds and then jump straight into segmenting and blending. Segmenting and blending is a massive skill that takes time to learn. So if you teach all the letter sounds first and then do segmenting at the end, it's going to be way more difficult for them to master that skill than if you continually segment and blend each time they learn 4 new sounds.
Teach easy sounds first, blend with those sounds, segment with those sounds, and don't teach any new sounds until everyone in the class has mastered those skills. I know it can be tempting to go ahead, but if students can't segment and blend with the 4 easiest sounds, they're not going to be able to do it with the more difficult sounds. So take your time and really develop that skill before you introduce the new letters. Now, if you're not sure what segmenting and blending are, you can find out more in this video.
Okay, so that brings me to one last important point. If you're going to be using only 4 letters to learn to segment, then you're going to want to use real words and fake words. For example, if you have the letter set S-M-A-T, you can use real words like sat, mat, sam, but you're also going to want to use fake words like tas, mass, tat. Actually, using fake words is really important in teaching students to read, and if you want to know more about using fake words to segment and blend, then you can watch this video here.
Now there's lots of different letter sets you can find online. We'll share with you the order that we like to use. Just remember, it's not really important which order that you go with, because as long as you're breaking it down into sets of 4, it's going to be easy enough for your students to master. So we like to start with S-M-A-T, and then the next set would be B-R-I-F, followed by CHOG. After that, we go to DUJL. Next would be PWEN, and finally would be a set of 6, which is KQVXYZ.
We hope this video has been helpful and we'd love to hear from you.
Leave a comment down below and let us know if you've ever tried using letter sets. If so, what order did you use and did you find it helpful?
As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button.
And stay subscribed to A Million Teachers, and we'll see you in the next video.